Hi, Dr. Sharita here, and I just wanted to jump on as a follow up to my interview I just finished tonight with Dr. Jeannie Lawrence. Dr. Jeannie is a board certified psychiatrist and the founder and CEO of Sanctuary Life Coaching for Physician Women, where she helps women to build lives that feel as good on the inside as they look on the outside. And Dr. Jeannie and I tonight talked a lot about mental illness, depression specifically, and we talked about depression in high functioning women. And this was very important to me that we address this subject because May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and I first became aware of the concept of depression in high functioning people and the fact that it presents differently a couple of years ago. And it was actually when I read an article that Dr. Jeannie wrote. And I had the opportunity to interview her at that time, and I thought it was imperative that I bring her back on this May for Mental Health Awareness Month, just so we could have a refresher on how mental illness and how depression specifically may appear different in higher functioning people. Most of the time, when we think about depression, we imagine someone in a dark room who has disengaged from life, that maybe they're not getting dressed, they're not going out, they're not talking to anybody, they've just isolated. In high functioning individuals, however, depression appears very differently. High functioning people continue to go to work, they continue to function well, they continue to meet their responsibilities. And so it takes a very skilled clinician to be able to recognize that there's something beneath the surface, something that's wrong. Apparently, higher functioning individuals have this internal drive that keeps them going in spite of the pain of the depression. And so, Dr. Jeannie in this article gave us a list of 10 signs that you may be dealing with high functioning depression. So, I wanted to share this list with you. And if you recognize yourself in these things, I would strongly suggest that you seek help from your physician or a mental health professional, because depression is a serious illness. One mistake that people make with this form of depression is they erroneously think that it's a milder form, that it's milder than the typical depression. However, the pain of this is just the same, and it is equally as detrimental to your health and dangerous to your life. So the first sign is that you wake up feeling sad or angry or both. So, when you open your eyes in the morning, if you're immediately feeling negative emotions, you might be dealing with depression. You drag yourself through the day. I think of this as almost like walking through molasses or quicksand or something like that, that things seem very hard, even when in your rational mind they shouldn't. You're always exhausted, always tired, no matter how much sleep you've had, no matter if you just come back from vacation, you're just always tired. You spend your weekends isolating yourself. So once you've gone through the week and you've met all of the responsibilities that you need to, your first impulse is to just be still. You might spend a lot of time scrolling social media or, doing other mindless activities, but you just want to be to yourself. You struggle with feeling guilty, inadequate, hopeless, or like a failure. You're pretty hard on yourself. You judge yourself very harshly. If you make a small mistake at work or you forget to do something, you're really your worst critic. And you're easily irritated. So you might have a short fuse when it comes to dealing with your family or your coworkers. You struggle to make decisions. The mental burden of just making one more decision, thinking about one more thing becomes overwhelming, and you struggle to come up with a solution or a decision. And you overindulge. You eat too much or you drink too much alcohol, and this is to help numb the painful sensations that you're feeling. And number 9, you're really good at hiding. So you laugh, you tell jokes. When you're out with people, you're engaged. And you're hiding the fact that you really are not feeling much on the inside. When you're dealing with this kind of depression, you don't enjoy life. You're not enjoying your life. You're not engaged with your life. You aren't enjoying activities that you used to enjoy. It's almost like a dulling sensation. And then number 10, you have a perfectly good explanation for all of these symptoms, and none of them include depression. So you're convinced that you're tired because you work too much, you're not enjoying things for whatever reason you've come up with, but depression is not on the list. And so I just want to encourage you again, if you're feeling even 50% of these things, seek an evaluation from your physician or mental health professional, because you may be dealing with high functioning depression. But you're, again, at as much risk for the physical manifestations and life threatening implications of depression. Now, one other thing that Dr. Jeannie and I talked about that I do want to highlight is the concept of mental wellness. I think she used a different term, but the way it is in my mind is mental wellness. And that's things that you can do to build up your mental health. Mental health is on a continuum. And so it's not either you don't have mental health or you're mentally ill or you're mentally well. It's a continuum. And so while we can be on one end of the spectrum when we're talking about this high functioning depression, we can also be on the other end of the spectrum where we're actually being proactive in doing things that contribute to our mental wellness. And so things like taking walks in nature, meditating, praying, exercising, eating healthy foods, getting enough sleep, having regular interaction with people who we love, people that bring us joy, and engaging in activities that bring us joy. Those are the things that will help to strengthen us and fortify us and give us the resilience that we need to combat life when life comes at us. And as we all know, life is coming at us pretty quickly these days. So that's it. I just wanted to make sure that you guys had the full list of things that you can look for that might be suggestive of high functioning depression. Please check out the full interview here, and I will see you all next week. Take care.